Hi, and welcome back to episode 2 of knowing just barely enough about electronics to make it do stuff. So today we're going to talk about breadboards. So this is a breadboard, and breadboards are used for prototyping up electronics in such a way that you don't have to solder together your circuits, and you can take the components out and reuse them again. Or you can try things out and kind of figure out what might be wrong with your circuit before you go to the bother of soldering it up or making a printed circuit board. So a breadboard has a lot of little holes in it, like this, that you can stick components into and they'll stay in place, like that. Now the breadboard, what it looks like underneath, and I've made up a little model here, is something like this. So we have these two lines across the top that have a little red and a blue, or sometimes red and black line, top and bottom of them. And they go all the way across the board like this. And then we have these little columns of 5 holes, which underneath have one wire that connects them all like this. In the middle of the breadboard, there's a gap, and there's a gap underneath as well. And then you have more columns like this, and 2 more horizontal rails. The holes in the breadboard are just there to hold your components. They just hold them in place, but underneath, anything connected in a row is connected together like that. So we can use this to make circuits. Pop this down here. Let's see, if we take a battery pack like this, and last time we were using a coin cell battery that was 3 volts. Now this one has 2 1.5 volts batteries, which are pushed top to tail, which doubles the voltage, which adds the voltage of the 2 batteries. So the output on this is 3 volts. Now I remember last time that these LEDs take about 2 volts to light. So if we take this one, and remember that there's the long leg and the short leg, and that the long leg has to go to positive. If we just touch these wires off of the LED, you should just about see that it lights up. Cool. So we can make the same sort of circuit as we did with the paper circuits using this big fake breadboard here. So if I want to make a circuit, I can take the positive wire, the red wire of the battery pack, and touch it to one. I'm just holding it down onto the copper so it's making contact, and put the second one here. See, the wires are being held down. Now the electricity isn't flowing because there's no circuit there, there's no connection. But if we take this LED and remember to put the legs the right way around and just touch it off here, you should see there that it lights up, because what I'm doing is bridging across between these wires. Now on the actual breadboard, it doesn't matter which of the holes you put the LED into, as long as it's in the right column, the right vertical line. So get rid of this guy. And I'll show you, if we take our wire from the battery pack, we can put it into this column here, and take another one and put it into another column. And now what we have is the same as when we were touching the battery pack on the rows on this. Now if we take our LED, and I'll turn off the light again so you can see, as long as I push the right legs of the LED into the right columns of the breadboard, which I didn't, you have to be careful to make sure they line up, you should see it lights up. And it doesn't matter if I put it in this one, or in this one, or in this one, as long as it's in the right column, it'll always light up like that. They also don't have to be side by side. I can put the long leg at the very top and the short leg at the very bottom, and it will still light up. It's just about matching the columns. So that is breadboards. The other thing you can do, the reason that there is this full long line up here, is sometimes you need to connect up your battery to multiple things at the same time. So we can use these rails up here like a power supply that we can run several things off of. So if I put the red wire in the red line and the black wire in the black line, like that, I can take some other wires, like these. These are called jumper wires. They just have an end on them that you can make connections. So I can run the positive rail at the top to the positive leg on the LED and the negative rail to the negative leg. And you'll see it lights up like that. Now, you have to remember that there is a break in the connections underneath here. So if I take this LED and I move it to the same column but over here, it won't light up because, go back to this, our power is coming in through two of these and our LED is connected down here, but there's a break in the middle. And that is breadboards in a nutshell. So we can run more than one LED off of the same power source by using some more jumper cables like this. So if we take another LED and we put it over here, we can connect its positive back to the positive rail and its slightly broken wire here, but it's negative back to the negative, and now you see we have two lit up. Now this is essentially putting them in parallel like we did in the first one, because the power is going through two, and if we take one out it doesn't stop. It's the same thing as a parallel circuit. I know that buying all the electronic components can be kind of expensive, so there's a neat way that you can follow along without having to buy all the packs. I will put a link to the materials you need for this video in the bottom, but if you just want to try it out without having to buy all these components, I would highly recommend that you sign up to Tinkercad. So Tinkercad has a couple of interesting things. It's one, you can do some 3D modeling, which I'm going to cover off in another video, but you can also use it to make circuits and it will simulate them in just in browser. So if you go onto Tinkercad, sign up to it, and then when you go to the home page, if you click down here where it says circuits and hit create new circuit, when it opens up, just a second, you will have a whole list of circuits that you, or components, you can try out some of these circuits yourself. So I'm just going to drag over this breadboard here, and I'm going to drag over an LED here, and I'm going to get here it says coin cell battery, and we'll want the one that's 3 volts. So we'll use this. This will work exactly the same as the battery pack we were using. So we can see just about here that this is red and this is black. So we know this is positive. If you hang over it, it'll say positive. So if we pull this over and connect it, you just click and then click again, and then that makes a wire. And then if you click on the negative and bring it up here, you can see you have 2 wires connecting back to the rail like we did with the real breadboard. I'm going to change the colors of these just so you can make sure you don't get confused. Black, there we go. And now if we use this LED, you can see that this is anode, means positive, cathode means negative. So if we drag this down and just put it on our breadboard like we did before, leave it there. If we make which one was anode? So we take another wire and we put it in just like we did with the real breadboard. And I'm going to make it red so you remember which way around they go. Remember, red is always positive, black is always negative by convention. Then we click black. And what should happen, hopefully, if we hit start simulation here, we'll see that the LED lights up. Success! So give it a little go yourself and see how you get on.